1. Okay, and we are live once again. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Nerd Chat Central, our redemption show, since we had so many difficulties last night. But we kind of got through stuff, maybe? Do you think we did?
I didn't watch it to see. There was so much going on that, we were just trying to be silly at some point and talk about things at other points. And
once again, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Nerd Chat Central.
Oh no, I think that might be
show since we had some. Is that? Hang on a sec. You. There we go.
What's that? Was that you?
Might have been me. I don't think it was me. But I'm just going to go with the flow. Anyway, so, hello, once again, Zach, joined by Eve, and my best friend, Karen. Say hello, ladies.
Hello. I did wear my zombie shirt.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. What's it say? Smash Cross.
Super Cross Brothers. It's a mashup of Nintendo with Walking Dead.
Oh, nice. That's pretty sweet. Hey, Zach.
Hello.
I'm not sure
How's
which
it
button.
going?
It's going good. My webcam actually squared up right there.
Yeah, there we go. So, thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, I thought it could be fun to come by and talk with you guys about the episode or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So last night kind of went south a little bit.
Yeah, that seemed to be the case.
Oh well.
Technical issues.
We're making things work now.
Happens to the best.
So yeah, last night's episode, the murder at Nerdvana. What were your thoughts on that?
I thought it was a really cool episode in terms of just like how it was set up. The CSI thing was really funny to have it be like a crime show. I thought it was really good. I think also so yeah, Nerd War, super imaginative, really interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the challenge was also really, really cool. The kind of technical stuff that they were having to do during the Nerd War. Instead of it just being like, here's the blood splatters, it's actually, no, you have to like do the blood splatters yourself, that kind of thing. That was cool stuff. And doing fingerprints, that was also pretty cool, because that's something that's a lot harder than I think a lot of people assume it is. Like, I'm not even sure how to do that, and that seems actually kind of like a tricky thing to do, to learn that on the fly when that's specialized knowledge. So I think it was a really cool one to watch.
Yeah.
Seeing Bobby and Curtis lurking in the background was funny too.
Definitely. No, I really thought it was interesting that, like, it had like a storyline to it, and that's what I thought was really cool. It was
yeah. It's like no, Pop Kitty.
Kind of Nerd War.
Yeah, I thought it was a very different way to handle things, and I thought it was pretty cool, especially to and it's interesting too. Throughout the show, throughout the seasons, we've seen Pom Kitty get progressively larger roles. I know she's been very excited to have lines in this season, because she has actual lines during the course of the season, as opposed to I think our season, the closest thing to a line she had was like, "Go Nerd Racers, go!" or whatever. But yeah, she's I thought it was cool that they kind of did this challenge centered around her, because Mindy is actually really awesome, and she's definitely sort of a part of the King of the Nerds family for sure. So.
Oh, absolutely. I think she's become a huge, I've noticed, and she's actually posted about it, each season she's getting she's getting in more episodes.
Yeah, because she's becoming a kind of almost, she's a staple of the show. She's not quite on the level of Bobby and Curtis as one of the hosts, but she's a definite staple of the show.
Yeah, and everybody loves her, so give Pom Kitty more screen time.
She's pretty nerdy too in person, which is actually pretty cool. So she's very intelligent and she's very nerdy. So it's cool to know that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I do want to point out, I forgot to mention earlier, we now have a Google questions and answer app that you can ask questions on, and for anyone here, either Karen, myself, Eve, or Zach. So if you want, you can submit those questions. And I guess the comments section isn't working on YouTube. Is that correct, Eve?
I am not seeing it, so I'm wondering if setting it up like how I did last night, and I think you did it the same way today, doesn't give you that comment section.
Okay.
You need to go back to the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, we will. I'll explore that a little bit and hopefully get that worked out for next week. So tonight we just have the questions and answer app. So if you want to leave a question, by all means, go for it, because that's the only way we can talk with you guys.
Well, they can also comment underneath the video, like usual.
That's true. Yeah, you can comment underneath the video too. Alright, I forgot about that.
When you go into YouTube, it gives you the option that says join them live, talk with them live.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not sure if that exactly works. I can go back in and try it. Come on in. I've got somebody knocking at my door and slipping notes under the door.
Oh, that's always fun. Speaking of notes, where did mine go? Oh, yes, here they are. One thing I really liked, well, actually, one thing I've been liking for the past couple of episodes that, Zach, I actually want your thoughts on.
Yeah.
Jonathan, his game strategy. Like, in one of my top 3 moments videos, I referenced Dan Giesling from Big Brother, and he is
Yeah.
big strategist. Like, what's your take on Jonathan right now?
I think Jonathan, of the people left in the show, I think he probably has a pretty good shot. I mean, no, I don't want to call that too early, because so far this season, the people who I've been rooting for keep going home pretty quickly. I was really kind of backing Todd. I thought Todd was really cool. Then he had his blow up in episode 3, and then that ultimately got him sent home. And he lost. He couldn't back it up. And then I was really rooting for a Colby. I thought Colby could do pretty good. Or I thought, I just really wanted him to do well. I wasn't sure if he was going to win, but I really wanted to just see him do really well, because I thought he could. And he definitely did. He kicked a lot of butt. I thought that Colby's performance also, in this episode, in episode 6, was really awesome. We can of course talk about more later. But no. So right now, Jonathan is one of the people who I'm really rooting for. I think he has a definite chance. I think that he's an incredibly strong individual player who, if things pan out in his court, depending on what the individual challenge is, he has a very good shot. If you think back on season 1, individual challenge was a pure analytical, mathematical, physics sort of thing. Ultimately, Danielle won it with some very unusual tactics. I was playing along from the couch when I was watching it, and during the 10 minutes or whatever watching it, I managed to get every single point right. So I was really proud of myself when I was watching on the show, because I got it exactly right. I figured it out. But and of course they had like all night to do it. So it was a cool challenge. But the thing about that challenge,
the physics challenge.
Right, that was the physics challenge. The thing about that challenge is that it was a specialized skill challenge. So depending on what this challenge is, and much even the one after that, in season 2, we saw Nerdio carts, and that was a very, in many ways, it wasn't necessarily a specialized skill challenge, but there was someone in the final 5 who had literally just cars basically as one of her specialized skills. Kayla, is so big on cars, and I've seen her nerd out about cars too. If you think cars kept me nerdy, you have to see Kayla nerd out about cars. Yeah, just to anyone listening though. So I've seen her just freak out over seeing a great car. She's awesome. But so I depending on what this challenge is, it will make or break Jonathan, is what I think.
Yeah.
If it's something in his court, he's gonna win it. If it's something outside of his court, I think someone else is gonna win.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was thinking, like how he's been building up these alliances, and we saw in episode 6, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he used that alliance he had with Amanda to have her vote herself in.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Okay, yeah.
Effectively, I mean, he was trying to swing Amanda to do that, and it worked out great. You know, Amanda now, congratulations, Amanda, you are the second person now to successfully vote themselves into a nerd off and come back. So good job. Because I was having fun watching that one too, because it was interesting. So you know, like I guess like 2 records that I had on the show really that were interesting, which was winning 3 nerd offs, and then which was tying Genevieve, and then voting myself into a nerd off and coming back. So I was watching this nerd off and being like, okay, so either way, like I have to see someone is gonna tie one of my records, and I was all excited to see who would be joining on the record. Amanda did great though.
Yeah, I definitely.
Well, the look on her face when Curtis originally said the whole "we're going to be doing math" thing, that was pretty funny.
That was so hilarious. And I thought he was so serious too.
He's an actor. Pulled it off.
But when I was watching it, you know, at home, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, it wouldn't be that much of a stretch if after the super analytical crime challenge it could actually be something mathematical. That actually wouldn't be too much of a stretch to me. But so when he said it at first and he says, "This is the throne room," and I was like, okay. Of course, then I remembered walking in there with a giant sword, and that the throne room can be a fun place sometimes too. So.
Yeah, but see, you guys had like the regal throne room. These guys have
was great.
Basement, like zombie
shelter. Yeah.
Room.
They have their own vibes to it, definitely. And then on season 1, you know, we had sort of it was just directly in the house. It wasn't kind of its own separate area as much. So yeah, they've all had their different vibes. I for the Elder Nerd cameo on episode 1, I did in fact get to go, you know, check out the new throne room. It's really cool in person. There's a lot of really interesting details that you can't see if you're just watching. The like fans in the back that look awesome. Like the giant door is really intimidating. It's really cool.
I love doors.
Yeah. It's a really cool room, but yeah.
I want to ask about the bedrooms. It seems like when they show them in the bunks now, it seems like they're almost in a little closet, as opposed to, wow, you guys kind of had more of a bigger room, and they were just, you know, not on the floor, but, you know, like a regular bed setup. It wasn't stacked and squished.
It looks like that they're setting up camp now in what were our war rooms, because I'm recognizing those rooms. It looks like that was the same room that was the yellow and purple war rooms.
Familiar.
Yeah, I think those are what the rooms are, were the yellow and purple throne rooms and other bedrooms.
I just love nobody's doors. Mm-hmm. They are really close together.
Yeah.
Or somebody, you know, underneath you that tosses and turns with a whole stack of 3 or whatever.
Uh-huh. I did like our room, but yellow is, for the record, if you are ever designing a home, do not pick yellow for the entirety of a room, for a bedroom. It doesn't work. We couldn't sleep at all. Meanwhile, the purple room is like, I can almost like smell the lavender, the relaxing, you know, things associated with purple.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. You guys didn't sleep for the whole time period you were there.
Exactly. We were all cranky.
Because you were in a room that wasn't nice. So, like in the Nerd Off, do you think there was anything that Colby could have done, like couldn't have done more of, that might have given him the edge? Because he had Amanda kind of on the ropes there going into that last round.
Oh, he did very well. And I was playing along on that one. I think I got like 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 6 or whatever. So those were tricky, but they were things that I think the way Colby was trying to play it. I mean, I haven't asked him about that in particular, but I think the way he was doing it was thinking about, okay, if we have a funny quote, it's not going to be attributed to the not funny thing, so we can get rid of that, and that. Obviously, you know, Nosferatu, you have some knowledge of what Nosferatu is, even if you haven't seen the movie, things like that. So you can go through them like that and eliminate answers and then go, okay, it must be this one, which is what I was trying to do, because I don't watch a lot of horror things usually. I knew the Zombieland one, though, and I loved how Curtis read that. But no, that was a hard challenge, and he was going against someone who was very specialized at it, and, you know, another thing, actually, that was very impressive that she pulled off is the fact that usually when someone has, like, specialized knowledge and they go into their specialist nerd-off, it means they're going to lose, and she managed not to lose, which is pretty good. Yeah. But I think he did well. potentially had he gotten a little bit better luck on the randomness of it, because there was randomness with getting your points. But yeah, or if he had just decided to go right from the beginning and done all hard questions, I think he might have been able to pull it off.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually really hoping that we would see some number of nerds from either season 1 or season 2 come back to do zombies like Ivan, Genevieve, and Joven did for your nerd off.
Yeah.
For one of your nerd offs.
The zombies.
Oh, I was waiting for that, and then it didn't happen. I was like, oh, disappointed.
Yeah, it was. These were less animated zombies.
Who doesn't want to get professional makeup done and be a zombie? At least once. It's so much fun.
Well, it just was cool to see all those people come back. I mean, it made me happy.
It was.
I was so happy to see them all too.
Yeah.
Although I can't imagine trying to do that challenge, pull the sticks out. It's like, oh.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm terrible with normal Kerplunk, and I would just.
I didn't know what Kerplunk was. That was so funny. Watching it when I had left the room, and then everyone started talking about me, and Nicole being like, he doesn't even know what Kerplunk is, and I was like, it was so funny to watch that afterwards, because I looked so stupid, but yeah.
Here's a question. Did you have time to, was there a time limit for how long you had to walk around and kind of look to see what kind of ink?
Tight time limit. Very, very tight time limit. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was either 20 seconds or 30 seconds or something, but it was short. So what you really had to do is while you also couldn't leave the mat. So it was only on your turn that you could walk around. So part of the strategy that we were both doing was during our time, even if we knew which one we were going to pull, we would spend the entirety of that time to get a good read of the structure from all sides, so that we could keep on top of it. So yeah, Nicole and I were both doing that because we're both bright people.
Yeah, and analytical like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually. I'm way more creative than analytical, but I'm capable of using an analytical side when I need my analytical side. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I just don't prefer it.
Right.
Yeah, but how do you take into account body parts?
Yeah. Have to account for all the hands and
zombie
feet.
mannequins though for this season 3 thing. I thought they were very funny, and I liked that they were filled with clearly something that made blood pop out. Basically, it was very cool. Yeah. I thought it was awesome.
It was awesome, but it was gross because at first you weren't expecting it.
Oh, some of those swings though, the way they slowed it down was just great cinematography. Okay.
I was happy, so that was all I cared about.
Yeah. Okay, in the last 10 minutes we're going to do, because we're just going to have a short show tonight, the teams, they have been dissolved. It is everyone for themselves. Who is everyone, really, what are thoughts going into this? We've got Rachel and Lily, who have, let's be honest, they're very brilliant girls and fantastic cosplayers. Ben, the marine biologist. Jonathan. Amanda, of course. Caitlin, right.
Right.
So, the way Caitlin has been, Caitlin is very prominent in her academic performance. We've seen that. She's said multiple times that she's very confident. How do you guys feel that she's going to square off now that this is individual?
She's one to watch. I don't know. I think. But see, Rachel is kind of staying under. I mean, obviously it's all editing.
Yeah.
She's kind of staying under the wire.
Yeah, she's definitely on the radar.
I think Jonathan's going to get thrown to third off the next one because Colby's gone. And he had said that he was going to go.
He did get that red flag, so...
Yeah. I mean, I think Caitlyn's actually huge competition.
Oh,
I think she's definite competition. The two people who I'm actually, if I had to like place bets right now on who I think wins, the two people who I think have the highest chances are either Rachel or Jonathan. The reasons for that is I think that Rachel has a lot of skills. She hasn't necessarily needed to use all of her skills yet either.
Yeah.
Another thing that's important to keep in mind, and I'm if you think back on challenges that we've had so far, there hasn't been gaming yet. So if they do have a gaming week again as the individual challenge, if that happened again, and if it was more actual gaming versus the live gaming thing, Rachel is going into that with a huge advantage. Because she is, I think she not to insult anyone else on the show, but I think she might be the best gamer on the show. So she's pretty good. That's like it's her tagline. I'm pretty sure she had gamer is one of the things about her. So I think she has a strong chance there. Jonathan is also just he's very smart. The analytical powerhouses tend to do really, really well on King of the Nerds, and he's one of them. I think Caitlyn is also an extreme competitor. If you watch sort of almost how the show has gone, I think it could end up going in her favor. We'll have to see. But I'm very excited because this next episode is really going to determine a lot. And what I'm really trying to figure out as well is we're going into this episode, with we have one extra player, right? We have an extra player this time.
Yeah,
so somewhere along the line, we do need to have an extra person eliminated. This might just mean that on episode 8, there's a bigger trivia challenge, and it just eliminates 3 people, but at the same time, that almost feels anticlimactic. I'm not sure what they're going to do. We might have a double elimination somewhere. There might be like 2 challenges. I have no idea. But I'm excited to see how that's handled. I'm excited to see how that changes the makeup of the game. If it is handled with just a massive trivia thing, it means someone else is going to go home from the trivia game, and there's lots of people with great skills that are specialized, but they don't perform well in trivia. So I think it could be a huge mix-up for the game challenge because the trivia contest has become sort of traditional at this point. So it could be a huge mix-up, and I think we could see someone like Caitlyn, Rochelle, or Jonathan go home on those challenges.
It's kind of hard to say because we haven't gotten to see as much of that in the background interaction to get to know people like we usually do the last 2 seasons. We don't really know what they're... I mean, we know they're either very smart in this or that, maybe mathematics or Caitlyn, but we haven't gotten any of that underlying... We haven't really gotten to know this group like we did the last 2 seasons.
It's been different.
They didn't have the opportunity to talk about themselves in the first Nerd War because Bobby and Curtis chose their teams from the future.
Right. So we've been kind of getting bits and pieces about each competitor over the course of the show as opposed to just a giant information drop in episode 1. Yeah. Which on some levels I think that's actually very enjoyable to watch. I think it can be kind of fun when one of the contestants go, oh, by the way, I'm great at doing this, and then you learn more about them. Like what happened with the horror challenge here, where she was able to be like, oh, by the way, I know everything about horror out of nowhere practically. So I think that was really cool. But you're right, it has changed the dynamic of the show, and it has changed being able to predict things a little bit because of the change in how we've learned about the contestants. I think it's been handled very fun, though. I've been really enjoying this season. And it's really good to see, too, that they've gotten really great ratings because everyone is watching it and enjoying it, and we've all been doing a good job promoting it, all of you guys included, and everyone, so awesome. Hopefully we'll see more seasons.
Oh, I hope. Well, I hope we'll see more seasons. I mean, I still need to get...
Season 4. Let's dream bigger than season 4. Let's say like season 20. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Well, okay. So I think Survivor is on season 30 right now. Let's get King of the Nerds up to that.
Yes.
We will be the new Survivor of reality television.
Right. That would be crazy. Wow.
Well, we already had with Curtis being naked, it's kind of like that dating naked show where they're surviving naked or some of those descriptive shows where you're flipping channels and you're like
the Naked and Afraid one, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You put me out in the middle of a rainforest naked. I'm sorry, there's way too many bugs.
You are going
People get hurt on that show. I've heard stories of people getting hurt on that show, seriously ending up in the hospital and long recovery times. It's dangerous. I'm glad that on King of the Nerds, you're in a nice, fun, nerdy environment with amazing things that truly is Nerdvana, and the largest pest you have to deal with are ants. So, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. If you okay, let's throw a question down here. If you guys like Karen, Eve, if you guys were going to make an audition video, how would you style it? Would you kind of like try to follow a theme, or would you do like a question and answer type of thing?
Oh, I'm a winger. Turn the camera on, and what comes out, that's what's going.
That's kind of me too, because, well, you know, Zach, that I'm kind of sporadic and all over the place with my nerdy interests, so I couldn't really stick to one theme. It wouldn't really work. It'd be like, so I have 30 seconds, done.
30 seconds, let's go.
30 seconds, and I'd be like, so that's the end of that interest, and there's 10,000 others that I haven't included.
I mean, that's it. How do you know what to include? How about you,
For the next season, you and me.
Yes. Must happen.
It must.
They look for personality, too, is just what they're looking for, and they're looking for the right sort of vibe.
We got tons of personality.
Yeah. Right. It was funny, though, because, you know, my audition video, I don't have the green light to actually share it, but I think I'll probably say this about it, that mine was moderately bland, and I've seen a lot of the other contestants' videos. Mine was just me standing in front of a poster and talking about myself. I think I talked about myself pretty well. I think I was good. I was interesting, and I think it was good. But I didn't do anything like that peculiar. And then I showed off some various pieces of nerd loot and things that I owned to give credibility, and kind of talked about things basically on the fly and just described things I owned. But you can basically do whatever you want with it. And then there's other contestants who I've heard done some pretty more dramatic things. Yeah, it's all you can do whatever you want. They just want to know who you are, and I'm sure that we'll see casting calls for season 4 if this is all successful. If we get the renewal, it hasn't been picked up yet. I'm hoping it will be, but definitely when it is, everyone send in your application and keep the awesome coming.
Hashtag nerds rule.
Woo!
And 5x5 media on that, right? Probably, yes.
Definitely. Okay, last question, and I've had this on my mind since the beginning of the season. Zach, do you think, with the numbers that we have, we will have a male king this season?
I think, I think probably, not to say anything about Ben, but I think the best bet for that to happen is probably Jonathan at this point. And I think Ben's also a good competitor, but I think potentially, given the nature of individual challenges, depending on what it is, again, I really don't know what this next one is. I might have to try to look up if there's even like the TV previews out, the on-demand descriptions, anything yet. But it's really going to make or break based on what this next challenge is. And I think there's a shot. What we saw on season 2 is we had one girl and then all just guys, and the girl managed to win. So numbers aren't really in a contributing factor whatsoever, I think, largely. So we could see this happen at any moment. We could see it reverse. And then over on season 1, it was mostly women in the final up higher amount of the competition.
Yeah.
And they did pull out the win. So we can see where it'll go, but maybe we'll actually have a King of the Nerds this time, which would be interesting.
That would be wonderful. I'm hoping for that.
I think the next episode is called Invasion of the Nerd Snatchers.
Ooh. So it could be
That's interesting.
okay, some sort of sci-fi thing then. Potentially.
Very well could be.
Because that's obviously Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Great movie, by the way. I love that movie. But
And
All right.
Boy was in that too.
Yeah. Okay, well, on that note...
We're sorry. I took it
No,
down.
it's fine. It's fine. But on that note, we will leave it at that. Keep watching King of the Nerds on TBS Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're like 2 weeks away from the finale. This is getting crazy.
Woo!
So excited.
Also,
So-
you should buy my novels, Za'naar Impossibility, because I'm shameless. And here's a plug. I wrote a fantasy novel, Za'naar Impossibility. Go to voidsaga.com. Shameless plug.
Oh, don't worry. I'll put it in the description below.
Awesome.
And thank you so much, Zach, for joining us once again.
Yeah, you guys are always great. This is
pleasure
always so
having
fun to
you.
talk to. It's always so fun to talk to everyone, and it's always fun to do these kind of things. And obviously, I want to support King of the Nerds in every single way that I can. I'm really grateful for the things that everyone in this community does to make this show as cool and interactive as it ends up being, because we have such a cool internet community surrounding it. And you know, people like who do these. This is it. This is like what makes it all happen and keeps the magic going. So, yeah, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure.
Yeah.
Karen, Eve, any last thoughts from you girls?
I just love hanging out with Zach. He's fun. he's my energy level. So if we're ever in the same city, it's going to be really dangerous, I think.
Good people.
Well, you're fun to hang out with too. So thank you.
All right,
right.
everyone.
Excited to see how the season progresses now that they're not in the teens. Like, I'm really excited. I cannot wait till Friday night to see the next episode.
It's going to be so exciting.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
It's on TBS at 9/8 Central Time. Check it out.
Yes. Get TBS on your televisions.
Hashtag Nerds Rule.
Yes.
Hashtag Nerds Rule. Hashtags everybody. I don't know what that
Woo! I have no idea what that was either, but it was certainly nerdy, so you're on to something.
Oh, thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you on Friday.
Woo!
Bye.